Ashley Joanna Williams, fondly called Ash, decides to vacation in a cabin in the middle of the woods with his girlfriend Linda, his sister Cheryl, his friend Scott, and his girlfriend Shelly. What he did not know was that he was walking into a cabin filled with evil supernatural forces that would attack and kill everyone except him and his group, moving him to launch a war against the forces in a franchise that has won the hearts of millions and millions of people. That's right, folks, we're talking about the Evil Dead franchise, launched in 1981 through an independent horror movie that was also the feature directorial debut of writer and director Sam Raimi. The franchise, which originally just had the original trilogies, now has a TV series, a musical, a reboot, video games, and comic books. Throughout the franchise, the scariest antagonist is the Kandarian Demon, which just so happens to be the topic of this video. So welcome back to Marvelous Videos. Let's dive right into the lore of the Kandarian Demon. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Let's go back in time. The Kandarian Demon has a lot of names: the Evil, the Rotten Applehead, the Force, Humbaba, the Drafter, and the Watcher in the Woods. This evil entity has existed since the dawn of time, years and years before humans came into being. They watched in the darkness of the shadows as we began to evolve and hated us with every atom of their existence. Till one fine day, they realized that when humans have not lived a very good life, their souls descend to hell after their death. As hell was a realm that they held control over, they began to enslave these wicked and wretched souls and send them back to the human world as Deadites. There are some fan theories that suggest that the Kandarian Demon was a physical entity that was born from the space between spaces or an interdimensional world. Because of some unexplainable events, the demon died and the energy of its soul became eternal. Some believe that the Kandarian Demon hunts humans because of its insatiable hunger for life, something that the demon can never have again. First appearance in documented history: the video game lore. The very first appearance of the Kandarian Demon has been documented circa 3000 BC in Kandar, a prominent city in Mesopotamia. This is probably where the monster gets its name. As the Kandarian Demon, just known as the Watcher in the Woods then, wreaked havoc in Kandar, the people sought out the help of their high priest, Urigen. Urigen studied the Watcher and saw him as a conduit of Ereshkigal, the goddess he worshipped. So instead of helping his fellow men, he decided to approach the Watcher to strike a deal. The Watcher, with his minions who were called the Dark Ones, helped Urigen overthrow the government and made him the ruler of Kandar. With this, the Watcher and his minions ran amok, killing and slaughtering everyone in his way. The only people who were left untouched were Urigen and all the members of Urigen's cult. The Dark Ones and Urigen were then led to the temple of Ereshkigal, where Urigen was instructed by the Watcher and a demon called Beletseri to create a book of ancient magic. Bound in human flesh, the book was written with the blood of those who were stuck between life and death. It was titled the Necronomicon Ex Mortis. Just as Urigen finished writing it, a human rebel army attacked. The army, headed by a time-traveling warrior and Enkidu, slaughtered the Dark Ones, not sparing Beletseri and Urigen.
We'll rip your soul out, Daddy.
Cinematic lore of the demon's origins. Everything we know about the Kandarian Demon, we get to know from the Necronomicon Ex Mortis. Also known as the Naturum Demonto, the Necronomicon is the original Book of the Dead, and it was written by the Dark Ones. Unlike the Dark Ones in the video game lore, they are not the minions of demons. Rather, they are quite mysterious and more evil than the Kandarian Demon. There is no way to know whether the Dark Ones were humans or not, but we do know that they were very skilled in magic, and probably had some supernatural abilities as well, as they were able to write the Book of the Dead. The Necronomicon was studied by Ed Getley, an associate professor of archaeology, who estimated that it was written 3,000 years before 1987, but there's a good chance that the book predates it. At the time of the creation of the book, the seas ran red with blood in ancient Sumar as evil forces reigned supreme. The Dark Ones decided that they needed to be taken down a peg and establish their supremacy over the world. The Dark Ones came up with the spells to arrest the rampage of the Kandarian Demon and keep it dormant. But just like spells exist to keep the evil force dormant, there are spells that wake them up, and since the Dark Ones have a penchant for evil, they wrote this all down in the Book of the Dead. Dr. Raymond Noby, a renowned archaeologist in the Evil Dead universe, observes that the book mentions an evil spiritual presence that walks around in forests and the dark bowers of man's domain. The only way to give these beings permission to possess human beings who were still alive. Though the original Book of the Dead was written centuries ago by the Dark Ones, many others were written by those dabbling in the dark arts. Each book has different rules about how the Kandarian Demon interacts with the living human world. The next big attack of the Evil Dead that has been recorded was in Great Britain, when the mythical King Arthur still ruled. A savage war took place between the forces of good and evil, and it was a major event in history. After Arthur's forces destroyed the Evil Dead in the war at Castle Kandar, all the Naturam Demontos disappeared and stopped influencing humans till the 1970s. Back with a bang. Archaeological expert Professor Noby was the unfortunate first person to discover the Necronomicon Ex Mortis in the Castle of Kandar, where it had probably been buried since the war, which was won by Arthur. Noby, intrigued by the archaeological artifact, decides to take it up to his cabin in the woods to translate it. While pursuing this academic high, Noby reads the incantations out loud and invites the Kandarian Demon, who slaughters him and his wife. A week later, the group we all know and love visits the cabin and stumbles across the book inside the cellar, where they also find a Kandarian dagger, a tape recorder, and a single-barreled shotgun with shotgun shells. The tape recorder contains the tape which Noby had used to record his translation. Scotty plays the tape and releases the Kandarian Demon, who is just too glad to get out of his dormancy and stretch out. The demon immediately sends Deadites and various evil spirits to haunt and kill the 5 youngsters. Everyone except Ash eventually gets possessed, forcing Ash to kill his own friends who have now turned into Deadites. Though the Deadites are strong, Ash is resolute, and despite being outnumbered, finds out that he can overpower them if he destroys the Book of the Dead. Ash throws it into the fireplace and sets it ablaze, but right when he is about to leave, the Kandarian Demon hurls itself at him, as it is understandably frustrated after losing its undead henchmen. The first movie leaves us hanging about Ash's fate, but the second movie comes to our rescue soon, telling us that Ash managed to escape the Kandarian Demon. But the demon is very smart, and has trapped Ash by destroying the bridge that leads out of the woods and into civilization. The demon also tries to possess Ash and almost succeeds by taking his hand in its control, but Ash cuts off his hand and saves himself from the same fate that met his friends. Soon, another group of people enter the cabin, and this group has Annie Noby, Professor Noby's daughter, her boyfriend Eddie, a local named Jake, and his girlfriend Bobby Joe. Similar events repeat, and Ash reigns over evil once again with the help of Annie. The duo discovers that Henrietta, Annie's mom, had not actually died after turning into a Deadite, but was in the cellar, lying dormant till her master, the Kandarian Demon, commanded her. Annie, who was also working on translating the scripts she found in Castle Kandar, had brought some extra pages of incantation and had read them out loud in the cabin, causing the force to take a physical form, which Ash rightfully dubs the Rotten Applehead. I mean, look at that thing. It's the most rotten thing you can think of, and it's extremely red. Ash's cut hand comes back with a vengeance and stabs Annie, who, after having found the incantation that would banish the demon, reads it with her dying breath. The portal opens and sucks not just the evil, but Ash with it, right back to 1300 AD. Here we go again. The time travel causes the Kandarian Demon to lose its physical form, but still remembers the hatred it has for Ash and chases him to a windmill. The Kandarian Demon sneaked inside a mirror, and when Ash shattered it, tiny clones emerged out of his image. They began attacking Ash, and one of them jumps into his mouth. Ash drives away the others and drinks boiling hot water to kill the clone inside his stomach, but that doesn't really work, and it begins to grow into a doppelganger of Ash and separates from him. The doppelganger is a bully and mocks Ash, till he shoots and dismembers him. But the Kandarian Demon persists as Ash's clone, and keeps taunting him while having a horribly mutilated body, while he gains access to the Necronomicon in that time period. He reads the incantation to travel back in time, but that does not work out well, as he makes a lot of mistakes and ends up raising the army of the dead. Evil Ash, the clone that the Kandarian Demon created, heals and takes charge of the army of the dead to attack Ash, but Ash defeats him with the Necronomicon and flees back to his time. The Kandarian Demon on the smaller screen. Ash, we believe after running out of pickup lines, recites the summoning spell to impress a woman and unleashes the Kandarian Demon once again. It takes on the form of a thick yellow fog and creates thousands of Deadites to terrorize Ash once again. The Dark Ones return and team up with the Kandarian Demon to battle Ash, who had been prophesied to end the rule of evil on Earth. The Kandarian Demon manifests into a gigantic and monstrous being over 60 feet tall. Military forces are deployed to take it down, but the creature is immune to human weaponry. They even fire a nuke hoping to curb the monster's rampage, and when that doesn't work, Ash decides that it has gone on for too long and commandeers a tank to which the Kandarian dagger is attached. Ash's smart thinking works, and he kills the Kandarian Demon for good. Not to be confused with Deadites. Oftentimes, fans confuse the Kandarian Demon with Deadites themselves when they could not be more different. Deadites are actually the servants of the Kandarian Demon and are created when the demon corrupts the souls of humans who are dead. Deadites don't have any motives of their own and only act in order to please the Kandarian Demon. Though there can be many Deadites, they probably have a hive mind as their consciousness, as they only refer to themselves as we. Deadites always need a host body to possess, while the Kandarian Demon can exist and exert its force even without a body. Anatomy of the Kandarian Demon. This is awkward, but to put it simply, the Kandarian Demon has no anatomy. Don't be too shocked, as the demon does not have a corporeal existence. The Kandarian Demon is mostly invisible in the franchise, and it might be hovering over you right now, but you'll never know till it unleashes a Deadite on you. In the show, Ash vs. Evil Dead, we can see it form a thick yellow-hued fog that kills anything it encounters. Its real form is probably too complicated for the human mind to comprehend, as it emerged from the space between spaces. One of the scariest forms of the Kandarian Demon is as Kandar the Destroyer. As we told you before, this form towers over a skyscraper and drives nightmares right into your skull. It seems like the Destroyer and the Dark Ones took cues from the human anatomy to inspire this form, as it is pretty similar to a human skeleton. With hollow eyes and long menacing limbs, the monster seems to have sharp horns on its skull-like head and structure similar to human ribs. In this form, the demon is immune to all kinds of human weapons from deadly explosives to corrosive bullets. The only thing that can affect it is the Kandarian dagger. Another form of the Kandarian Demon is the Rotten Applehead, which it manifested in after Aninobi read more of the summoning incantations. The Rotten Applehead is a disembodied head which is around 6 to 7 feet in height. It has wrinkly pinkish red skin all over, and below its left eye, you can see the heads of its victims and enemies. One of the heads is Ash himself, as the demon was hoping to kill him next. The Rotten Applehead has no nose, but you can make out a few holes above its mouth that probably function as nostrils. Its saggy skin droops over its eyes, and you can hardly see it, but when they are visible, they are snake-like and blood-red in color, striking terror in anyone who dares to look at it. It has sharp triangular teeth, and instead of lips, the skin appears torn around its maw, exposing its multiple rows of teeth. The powers of the Kandarian Demon. The Kandarian Demon rules the Deadites, and it can convert any object or creature into a Deadite. We have seen the demon possess a tree, humans, and even a mirror. Anything is fair game. Due to the demon having a non-physical existence, it can travel anywhere and even fly high in the air. It can affect sounds to torture humans and can induce hallucinations as well. Without a physical form, the demon cannot be harmed and can take on any form it wants to. In the form of Kandar the Destroyer, the Kandarian Demon can breathe fire and absorb the weapons being thrown at it to empower itself. The only bane to the Kandarian Demon's existence is the Kandarian Dagger, which can destroy it. The demon seems to be affected by sunlight, as it usually retreats whenever the sun rises. It probably grows resistant to it with the more souls it consumes, as there have been some cases where the demon did not stop even when morning arrived. If you don't have the Kandarian Dagger to help you when the Kandarian Demon attacks, make sure you are close to a copy of the Necronomicon, which will teach you all the incantations you need to know to banish the evil force. Talismans, too, help protect the place from demon infestation. Marvelous verdict. We hope we satiated all the curiosity you had about the Kandarian Demon. If we left out anything, do let us know in the comments, and if you like the video, spread the joy and share it with your friends. Don't forget to leave us a thumbs up to support us, and if you haven't already, subscribe to Marvelous Videos. It's free. We'll be back with another impressive video soon, and until then, take care and goodbye. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one, be safe, and thanks everyone.